Episode 11. The Rattening. Julia and Quentin track down the gatekeeper, but in order to get safe passage to the Underworld, they have to give up the button to FIllory. Their bodies will stay Earthside while their spirits go down to the Underworld, where they will have 24 hours to find Julia's shade before the portal closes. They take an elevator down, and when they arrive in the Underworld, they are directed to take a number. The infomercial for death starts playing, and they watch another person get dragged away for having their shade being missing. Julia decides it's not worth it mentioning anything. There's a lot of bureaucracy in death, so while they're waiting to be processed, Julia tracks down her karmic circle. Elliot is worried about gay wedding being perfect. Idri tells him that he doesn't need to be worrying so much, it's gonna be fine. Even if they have a simple ceremony, that'll be enough. And suggests to Elliot that why don't the two of them get to know each other a little bit better? Because while they can't technically touch each other until after the wedding, there's still a lot you can do. Idri puts a blindfold on Elliot and then turns into a rat? Penny is trying to fix his hand thing in the library when he gets assigned a supervisor. Him and Katie end up having mind sex since they're in different realms, and this is how they can communicate with each other. Katie is trying to figure out the poison room, but Penny doesn't have clearance. John's gone back to being a senator, with Reynard working as the devil on his shoulder, acting as an advisor. He's trying to get John to start using his powers actively. Wouldn't it just be so much easier if you could just make people do what you want? When he tries to do that with a fellow senator, he accidentally uses too much juice and sends the senator into a medical episode. In the Underworld, Julia and Quentin reunite with Richard and the merry band of believers, and Julia recruits their help on the shade hunt. Since Richard has been trying to find his son, he goes to the reception area and starts causing a distraction so that Julia and Quentin can go behind the desk and look up information on shades. They are able to find that shades are kept in Elysium, in a house that is just full of kids. And wouldn't you know it, the lady underground that they have been looking for all this time happens to be Persephone, who the shades say hasn't been around in a while. In FIllory, everything has gone to madness. Most of the castle has turned into rats, it's raining upside down, and all of the blondes in the land are gone, including the Palomino horses. Elliot gathers the remaining council members and trophies them all with the truth serum. Tick has been embezzling. Raph, the human translator for Abigail, the sloth council member, have been using the guards to run an escort service. And Margot finally reveals that Fen and Elliot's baby was the price to fix the wellspring. But ultimately, none of them are the cause for the chaos that's been happening in FIllory. After Margot's upsetting reveal, Elliot has her locked in the dungeons, albeit with her coconut oil. He's upset with her, but not enough to have her suffer. While in the dungeon, Margot gets told that Fen is in the fairy realm, and also the fact that the fairies also aren't the cause for the recent chaos in FIllory. John tries to tell his wife about his new non-human status, but she doesn't believe him, and then he accidentally mind controls her too. He confronts Reynard and says, "What you want me to do is messed up. I don't want any part in this." But Reynard defends himself. Sure, he can't argue that he's doing good, but what he's doing is like a healthy cult. It's not like their so-called benevolent lady underground who grinds up men and gods alike into the ground and then leaves them behind. Elliot figures out a way to bring back some order to FIllory, telling Josh that they need to hold an election and, reinvent democracy and bring it to FIllory. But just as he says that, he gets banished from FIllory and winds up back inside the physical kid's cottage. Penny finds out that the head librarian's name is Zelda, but when he goes to find her book, he realizes it's not in the main library, it's in the poison room. His supervisor, who also happens to be a kid who is seeking asylum in the library, tells him that she can help Penny get into the poison room. Katie is getting updated with what's going on in the library from Penny, but gets woken up by Todd, who tells her that John is here, and he wants to help them go after Reynard. Margot gets given a potion to the fairy realm so that she can go save Fen. Quentin finds out the reason why the spell to bring Alice back didn't work is because her shade is in the Underworld. But since they can only bring back one shade when they go back out, they have to leave her behind. But Julia ends up sneaking out Alice's shade instead of her own.